by Dallas, make it hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on tonight? Welcome once again to the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show podcast that is being seen and heard live right now as we speak on Podbean, of course, the original home of the podcast show. It is also being seen also on the Big Time Show YouTube and Facebook pages, as well as Twitch tonight, and of course on Twitter tonight. I hope that you guys are having a great Friday evening. By now, you already know what's going down. It's almost like a ticking time bomb that's getting ready to explode. We got about 2 more days of this because I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of listening. I'm sick of this mess. I'm sick of the disrespect. I'm sick of the truth as well. Let me get that right. Some of this stuff we done heard this week has been the truth, and now it's time to go ahead and let's finish up this talk about it and see if we can find some more solutions or things that we haven't talked about as well. So I hope you guys are ready to rock tonight. I'm so excited tonight because I got my brother with me tonight. Hey, it's a big night. It's a big night. First of all, before I bring him in, let's go ahead and share real quick. For those that can, go ahead and share to all you Cowboy fans. Share to a group or anything. Just share and come on and join me tonight and my guest tonight. Really needs no introduction for those of us that are Cowboy content creators. One of the best in the game today. If you follow my brother, Boss Cowboy, you will see him primarily on the watch parties with him and Coach Marv with Boss, and you also see him did an amazing show. At least I saw it this morning with Jay Tuck and Boss again. So it is it's a privilege, honor to have my brother here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and bring him on in now so we can go ahead and talk because he's sick of this mess too. So y'all might well get ready. Welcome my brother Amp in the building of Amp Sports. There he is, one and only. I got my brother in here. Oh yeah. Now I got to get one of those. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, you can't do that to me, Sean. Now, yes, sir. Oh man, yeah, I told y'all gonna be fine tonight. Oh, you just look, Leah, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and say it now. I will have my smoke machine. It ain't. I'm finna come out like Ric Flair on y'all.
The beautiful part about the content community is everybody brings something just a little bit different, I thought about it and I was like, okay,
yeah.
And we start doing these watch parties, and I was like,
Yeah.
And I always, we end up saying, and I saw it in your intro, with the smoke and all. I said, hey, we want the smoke, so hey, bring the smoke.
Next time, let's rise up like the Undertaker through the floor. That's what I'm gonna do. So look, I gotta carry your stuff to the next level.
Right. Right.
Man, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Man, I am good. No use complaining. Cowboys, it's December.
Yeah.
And if you've been following or if you've been a Cowboy for at least the past 2 years, you know what December means. And it's, according to my watch, December 22nd. So that means January is right around the corner. We got three games left. Something that I saw. Let me backtrack before we even get into content. First and foremost, I want to appreciate Big Time for inviting me and having me on. Look, Cowboys for me is a way of life. I'm not new to this. I'm true to it. Actually was born into it. Father's a Cowboys fan, and he didn't force it on me, but he showed it to me. And ever since maybe about the age of 3 or 4, I fell in love, man, and I've been on this roller coaster ever since. So, I saw them and witnessed the championship in the 90s. And I struggled through the woes in the late 90s and the early 2000s. And, as an adult, we've just been constantly riding this roller coaster out. So let's get this thing rolling, man.
Let's get it rolling. Y'all forgive me. I know y'all see, yes, I can see the comments. Octavius Ford. What's up with you, man? Hey to everybody in the chat. I see the one and only Eastside is in the building. You be having power Eastside too.
Fair Eastside.
Oh Lord Jesus, he just
be everywhere.
He just everywhere. Just a definite.
Eastside is like dog poop. Everywhere,
just everywhere. He don't even
watch your step.
Yeah. He don't even listen to his thing. He too busy watching us. He go from balls to y'all. He come over here to me. He go to everywhere. So I don't even get it going. Privileged to have him here. Look, we ain't come here to play. We here now to go ahead and see what if we can add a couple more chapters to this long week's story where Cowboy fans have thrown they they're getting nervous off one loss amp. The national media has turned once again against the Cowboys. We
not 2 in a row.
Yeah,
not 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Just one game, right?
Just one. That's all it takes.
And we at the top of the headline?
Top of the headline. Dak Prescott is not. Dak Prescott has dropped from possible number 1 in the MVP race to number 5 now. Josh Allen name ain't been called, but he beat us, and now he number 2 and all this kind of stuff. So when the Cowboys lose, it's incredible. And even in our world as independent content creators, what you'll see is when the Cowboys lose, it's big business for us.
Of course.
We get more views, we get more everything going on. So it's incredible. But let's go ahead.
If you could, you a married man, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My question is, if you can fall out of love after 1 week, was it really love?
No, it was just infatuation.
Okay. That's what I thought.
It was infatuation and imagination at the same time. That's all it was. It wasn't nothing like that.
They ain't never really loved us.
No. Fair weather fans is what we call
That's
them.
it.
Let's go ahead and get into it, Amp. And I don't want to play that. I think we're just gonna kind of flow off each other, but I guess for now I'll be the interviewer. And you talking, I'll feed off of you. Let's talk about. Let's go offense first.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's see what you think about the offensive matchups. Primarily, their defensive line against our offensive line. especially after hearing there's a possibility that Tyron Smith will not be playing this week.
Have we? So I missed injury report I missed it today and I missed it yesterday.
He's
I know
doubtful.
early in the week he's doubtful. What about Zach?
Zach, they say he's gonna have a pretty good chance to play.
Okay. So
yeah, that adds another whole new light on the situation.
Yeah, because one thing I will say is, and it all happened right around the same time. But if you notice early on in the season, as the strength of our O-line continued to get healthy, you saw the potency of the offense get heavier.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally, I can't split one between the other. It seemed to all come together.
Yeah.
Tyron not able to go.
Okay.
Tyler Smith at guard.
Mm-hmm.
And Chuma, you up, dog?
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's the way it's been.
Not his first time,
Uh-huh.
And with Tyron not practicing, with nobody saying this, with Tyron not practicing, that means Chuma should have been getting first team reps, right?
No question.
So if he's been getting first team reps and he's playing against our dog defensive line in practice day in and day out, I'm okay with leaving him there. However, in the event that he appears to be struggling early, you can't wait till almost end of the game to make adjustments.
Yeah.
If you need to, throw Ferg over there or Hunter Luepke or somebody to chip, to provide some assistance, do so. Yeah. Do not let that one injury, that one position dictate the entire game.
I agree.
Because I don't know about you, because I know it's kind of close to you. I was present at the infamous Chaz Green game.
Woo! Woo! Please don't remind me of it.
It was cold. It was raining. I drove up to Atlanta early that morning, and I live in Falcon Country. I had to hear that for the rest of the month.
Doc, it was unbelievable. That man had a Hall of Fame game, and I don't think the man had another sack ever since that game.
Probably not. I don't think so.
I mean, I'm serious. We made him look like the next coming of Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
I mean, just unbelievable how he destroyed us that day. Let me ask you this, Amp, and I know they're not gonna do it because if they would have, we would have already seen it. And I understand who we have, but I was always wondering why we never moved Tyler to guard. I mean, to tackle. Tyler Smith to tackle instead of keeping him at guard and taking the chance at the left tackle position, which we all know is the blind side of the quarterback. I never understood why we didn't do that, especially since they love Baz so much.
Exactly.
Because Baz can play both guard positions. And he has been incredibly serviceable. Yeah. If you ask me, I actually like him. Yeah. I just never understood that and even though I'm going to give, my guy the credit at left tackle when he comes in, but Tyler is, a dog. I mean, just flat out a killer. Yeah. And I think Baz would do the job. I just never understood that. What do you think about that?
So the only logical reason I can give it is because, and you heard them say it a lot, especially in the media.
Yeah.
Best five. Yeah. So you wouldn't want to have Tyler as Tyron's backup. You don't want all that talent sitting on the bench. So I think they saw that he could handle, the guard position. And they just decided, you know what? He's better than the next guard we have on the depth chart. So we're gonna roll with him. That's the only thing I can think of. To me, it kind of stunts his growth, because in the event, let's just say this is Tyron Smith's last year. Now you got questions to answer. Do you want to kick Tyler out and just leave him there permanently? Or do you keep him where he is and draft your next left tackle? That's going to be a topic all off season. I can already see it, smell it, taste it.
No doubt.
Everybody's going to have their opinions and people are going to pick their sides, but he did a masterful job for us last year. In the crunch,
he
on
was
the fly.
Outstanding. And that's where they drafted him.
Right.
If you ask me, they drafted him to be the tackle. No question about it. I was just wondering why haven't they, if he goes out, I thought he would be the obvious next replacement in the event that Tyron Smith got hurt. But obviously they know a little bit more. They see more than we do. They had practice, so I give them credit on that.
Yeah.
Let's go see the real part. Their defensive line is not that great. I believe we can run on them.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, in my little film study, I think that we need to run on them, almost give them a piece of what Buffalo did to us. And the reason I'm saying that is because, unlike a lot of people saying this going to be a track meet, if anything, we need to slow this game down. The last thing you want to do with Miami, lighten your tail up, is get into a track meet with them. I don't even think that's a smart move. I think we need to slow the game down easily. What do you think about that?
I do, and I think that'll be a good ploy early, one, to set the tone. But also too, man, you wanna because it's a very potent offense over there. We're all aware of, and if you can minimize the amount of time that offense is on the field, your chances of winning the game increase significantly. However, I will say this: you can throw on them. You can throw on them. So I expect, or if it were up to me, I would, heavy 12 personnel. Just keep throwing those body blows. And the more they start to come up, the more they creep up. Now you open up for the play action pass, catch them deep over the top. Take your opportunities. But this defense doesn't scare me at all. Now I will say this: just looking back briefly at last week, I thought the same thing about Buffalo. I thought to me that was the biggest shock of last week. Even though run defense was horrible. But we've seen that story before.
I'm coming.
But since we started, churning and burning on this offense, we've been able to score. But to only be able to muster up 10 points last week, if you had told me that at the beginning of the game, I'd have told you was a liar to your face.
Exactly.
And that with the defense that they were running, the fact that we didn't attack the middle of the field hardly at all, I just felt like we didn't take advantage where we could. We played the game that they wanted us to play. And then once the league got to be too big, then we just never recovered from it. And we were chasing the ghost all game.
Here's what I didn't like, Amp. Like the old saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. So I looked at the film, man, and I'm looking and I'm saying, what happened to all the motion that we were doing?
It was stale.
I mean, it was wherever you line up, that's where I didn't see hardly any. And that's what made Dak so hot this last month and a half. Instead, we reverted back to the way we were prior
weeks
to
1 through 5.
San Francisco game, Arizona game, a little bit. Well, it was a little bit better in the Philly game, but we're not good when we just stand still
Nope.
and then go at it. I mean, and I didn't see it last week, and I'm trying to figure out why we didn't do that. It just didn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
I believe that's gonna crank back up this week.
One thing I will say and give credit to is Mike McCarthy is not a prideful individual.
Mm-hmm.
If something is not working, he will attempt to fix it.
Yeah.
He will make his changes. Now, Dan Quinn, on the other hand,
oh man,
I'm gonna hold it. We still on offense.
Yeah. Just hold on. That's what that's what majority of the show gonna be at on D. Hello to everybody. Listen, I see all your comments. I appreciate y'all popping in with me. Go ahead and share real quick. If you're not subscribed to AMP, he over here, most of y'all know who he is, or at least you should know who he is. But if not, I already done got him set up. Y'all know who I am because you already got the show. Let me go and put this up now for you. Look, go follow him. There he is right there. Go to his YouTube channel. Go to his Twitter. There it is for you. I'm gonna leave that up there for you now. I need my family to go over there and follow him as well. Top notch dude. Top notch great content creator. One of the best in the game. It's an honor to have him on the show. Real quick. Listen to this. Jalen Ramsey and Howard are not the usual Ramsey and Howard. And in that, I'm saying, Amp just said a few minutes ago, they can be thrown on. Mm-hmm. That is the truth. And part of it is when you're coming back from a major injury, especially at the cornerback position, where you got to use them legs and them feet, and you ain't 100% right, and you see a monster like CeeDee Lamb coming at you, and a speedster like Cooks coming at you, you're going to find out real quick how healthy you really are. Now, Jalen has made some couple plays, but he's not the same guy. It's almost kind of like an ACL where you come back the next year and you really not yourself, kind of like it was with Gallup. And then that next year, depending on how the severity of your injury, of course, you usually crank this thing back up to where you once was.
Right.
I'm saying both of them, they're not the same guys. And there ain't a lot of too many teams that are seriously scared of him. So you respect the guy, no doubt, but I'm saying go at him. That's what I'm saying, Amp. Yep. We respect him off reputation, but this ain't the same dude. Go at him. So in other words, what Amp is really saying is we can do whatever we want. If you want us to run it, we can. You want us to air it out, we can. So it's just pick your choice. We're not scared of nobody. At least we should be. Go at them. So what you feel about Ramsey, Amp?
Yeah, he respectfully, he's a shell of himself.
Yeah.
Because we're accustomed to seeing from him, lockdown corner who's,
take away one side of the field.
Take away one side of the field, get his hands on the ball, put fear in quarterbacks, but to your point, yeah, he's after that injury, he clearly has not been himself. In that same breath, reports came out from Tony Pollard himself that he didn't start feeling like himself until mid-week. Mid-season. And we saw it. I was critical early on, and I was like, he is not himself. I don't see the burst.
Yeah.
But it took him time to fully rehab. Yeah. Was he healthy enough to be on the field, to run around? Yes. But judging him against himself, he was not typical TP. Yeah. But we have been seeing, even last week, and I keep wanting to leave last week, but the more I think about it, the run game was working.
It
was working. So Big Time, I'm gonna ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think we didn't continue to go down that avenue if it was free of traffic. I've never seen anybody get off an empty road to go break off and go onto a busy road.
Because I'm gonna be fair to Coach because he's the one that's calling the plays.
Mm-hmm.
What it is that we had so much success from Dak being so hot and the major league production that he produced that you just think that that's just the way that it has to be. That is the philosophy changed a long time ago about, hey, we're gonna be a running football team. I didn't believe in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to. I say he's a lie.
It sounds good.
It sounds good. I knew it was a lie in the first place. I said it in training camp. You can't have a CD Lamb go get a Brandon Cooks, and remember, they were saying Gallup was back to himself at the time.
Right.
So he's nowhere in the world you're gonna have those three receivers, and then all of a sudden say pass in the secondary. No way. The strength of your offense at the time was the receivers at the time.
He said and did what he needed to get that other offensive coordinator out the building. That's what he did.
So I really believe if Boss was here, I believe that we drunk the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, right.
Of what Dak was doing. You just got to squeeze
even the Texas coast, because it ain't that either.
It's not that. We're going downfield now. It ain't none of that going on. So it's amazing how things. The light has been shed on all that kind of stuff. But I really believe that you can't. Like I say, you can't blame it on that because it was so much production in this last 5 to 6 weeks that and then Pollard, they have it in their mind. They ain't gonna never come and say it, Amp. But Pollard ain't gonna carry the ball no more than about 14, 15 times a game.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? So they know that he can't run it, like a low carrier. And then Rico, of course we didn't even see him in the game hardly at all last week. So they gave then we fell so far behind that we put teams, Buffalo put us like we put other teams. The scoreboard dictate our play calling. Absolutely. If you look up and you down by double digits, we ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna we want the scoreboard to take away your running game.
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. So we can do everything on that. Now let's go to the defense. I believe we ain't gonna be able to talk about too much more than this real quick. Let me say this, damn. Because I done heard all my brothers talk. I heard you and Tuck and Boss this morning. I saw the OC talk. I've seen Coach Marv talk. Coach Marv is in the building too. I see you, Coach. Coach. I saw Coach's keys to victory, and I saw all that stuff. But see, none of that stuff worked, Amp. And maybe you saw something different, and I'm not trying to get you to agree with me. See, you can have all the strategy and schemes in the world, but if you ain't got no effort, man, if you don't have the fire, if you don't have the want to, if you don't have the passion, I don't care if you got Bill Belichick and Tom Landry, whoever else the coach you want to name, you're not going to get nowhere. And what Dan Quinn defense usually is that there's a swarming to the football.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's passing or somebody catches it. It should be. And I did not see that. Now, there's another thing that I saw, and nobody didn't want to talk about this, and I've been waiting to get to this the whole show. I mean, not this show, but I've been wanting to say this the whole time. It's either one or two things. Mm-hmm. It's either what I just said or this. Because Buffalo did a whole lot of running and looked like we were in big nickel the whole time. All right, check this out. Amp. There's a possibility, Amp, that the passion could have been there It just ain't nothing you can do about it because you too small. You can't look. You can't match up because them guys was just mowing you over. I know we got 8 up on the run game, but you can't have no small guys on no big guys and think they're gonna make consistent plays. You might get one every now and then, but we were really too small. Let me tell you this, Amp. I'm gonna give it over to you. I knew we was in trouble from the first play on defense. Because see, why is Neville Gallimore starting? Can somebody help me on that? Look, I thought we were supposed to set the tone.
Beyond me.
Come on, man. I mean, we got plenty of other choices there.
Not that he's a scrub.
He's not a scrub, but he don't need to be starting to set the tone.
Nah.
You tell me Hankins and Gallimore is your first choice? I mean, come on, man.
So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. Last Sunday for us at my church was candlelight, right? So I was only able to see the first drive and a half. And after watching us on defense after that first drive, like you said, this ain't it.
Yeah, you know it'll be a long night.
So I missed the entire game. So we, go through candlelight, and immediately after service, I'm standing there. My father's next to me. My pastor's in front of me. All 3 of us are Cowboys fans. And simultaneously, everybody pull their phone out, and all you heard was at the same time. My pastor said, I knew they ain't had it today. I knew they ain't had it. And so I went home and I jumped straight right here. Boss, coach, OC, they were doing post game, and I jumped in. And I know you wonder, how in the heck did you jump on a post game show and ain't watch the game?
Yeah.
Look, I did one act. I saw the first series and a half, and then I looked at the stats. It told me
what's going on. Yeah,
everything that happened. I said we gave up 266. So boss asked the question, and he said, where do you feel that the change or mentality of a physical style of play, where do you think it changed? He asked me that on the spot, and without hesitation, I said, unfortunately, all of that left with Rod Marinelli. Now we can criticize and scrutinize Rod Marinelli for schemes at time and his philosophy of his defense, but one thing that you could not question, and I have seen it being said all week. Even D-Law talked about it. I saw that today. D-Law talked about it. He said, hey, great coach was here when I got here. He demanded effort. He demanded you to be relentless. Even if you may have been, and my high school coach used to tell me this. If you're gonna read it wrong, at least do it 100 miles an hour.
There you go.
But when you are wrong and you're not giving your full effort, the film is going to tell on you.
Oh yeah, quickly.
And we saw that over and over again. They had their way with us.
Yeah.
From lack of discipline, as far as assignments, lack of discipline, committing boneheaded penalties, lack of discipline. So now what I also see is there's no trust within the unit. And the reason I say that is because, and you watched the film, I know you saw it. In a lot of instances, you saw individuals playing hero ball. If you're playing hero ball, that means that you don't feel that your compadre on the other side of you is capable of handling what he needs to. So now I have to overcompensate as a result.
Yeah.
That's a lack of trust.
Yeah.
So if everybody's flying and doing their assignment and doing their job, there's no need for hero ball.
Exactly. Because it's a
So
team.
I need everybody to focus, lock in on your assignment for that play and execute it.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, if you do that, because see, what the difficult part is, and this is where the issue comes in, because you pose two sides of this. Yes, in some instances we are, a lot of instances we're undersized, but you can't fully judge the scheme if the effort isn't there.
Bingo. Can't do it. No, there's no way. And I'm gonna even take it like this though. See, when I first said that, but about at 4:00, I said what I said, but I had to change it. And this is the reason why I changed it. Because we're 10-4. And which tells me, because we've been doing this undersized, quote unquote, defense for at least 14 games. We won 10 games. Now, however way you want to say, well, we blew everybody out, but the defense had to play, and they played well. Yep. So, and I didn't have to go back to 10-4. I'll go back to the Philadelphia game in Dallas. I'll even go back to the Philadelphia game in Philly.
Right.
The offensive line of Philadelphia universally this year has been recognized as the best offensive line in the game. We shut them guys down. You see what I'm saying? Yep. So if we shut down Philly, and they like to run the ball, and they like to do the play action pass, and they got Jalen Hurts running, well, if we can shut that down, we should. Buffalo, Josh and Jalen are similar in a lot of ways in the way they play the game. Now, I'm not saying Jalen is a better player than Josh, because Josh can throw the ball a little bit better than Jalen can. But running and all that kind of stuff, this is not the first shifty back that we saw in James Cook this year.
Nope.
Swift is just Swift is just as shifty as he is. We shut these guys down, man.
Yep.
So I ain't giving them no excuse. I had to take that thing back, And we shut those teams down. Man, look, we shut down, as much as everybody like to talk about we got our brains beat out by San Francisco, and we did. The fact still remains, Christian McCaffrey only had 50 yards.
That's it.
And he the best running back in the game.
That's it.
So if we can shut down that, then certainly, Jay, it was the effort. It really was the effort. My only hope is, because we about to get tested in a very double stacked between Ashi and Mostert. These guys can flat out run the ball. We're about to get tested again. I hope that we graduated from last week from pitifulness to at least respectability. And they ought to be ticked off, because when I was growing up and you played, somebody run that many yards against you, usually it is effort and let me see, effort and lack of passion. I guess it's the same thing. It's also not getting to the spots where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So, oh Lord, here go Eastside with the cash app. Whenever I got a cash app, I always highlight. So here we go. And of course, Eastside, because he's tired of, he will want to be heard. Just get ready for another road loss in Miami. All right, Eastside, we'll see. But anyway, you're not in your right spots. You knew that by the bend back that Cook had. He'll go one way, come all the way back to the other side. There's nobody there, because everybody, as you said, trying to play hero ball. And that's just not the way you play defense. So if I get the effort out of everybody, I believe we'll play a whole lot better, man.
That's it. Because it was no need to get riled up and rallied up for Philly.
No.
You know how you feel about them, you know how they feel about you. You saw a team that would not be denied, that wanted to make a statement. I need them to bring that same energy and effort, not just sometimes, on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
If we do that on a weekly basis, We going to Vegas, man.
We going to Vegas.
We going to. It's that simple. And I said something last night, flipping to the scheme side of it. A lot of individuals think our base defense is nickel. And unfortunately, after further thought, I had this epiphany early this week. It's not. It's actually dime. Yeah. Because if you look at it, majority of the time, Marquise Bell is on the field. He's not a true linebacker. He's been converted from a safety to play linebacker, but in actuality, his true ideal position is safety. So we're trying to stop power run games with a base dime package. It don't work like that, folks.
No, sir.
It don't.
No, sir.
You can't do it in Madden. You couldn't do it on 2K.
No.
You couldn't do it on college football back in the day. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I believe that sometimes you do need to taste your own blood. You know, sometimes you do need to realize and that your poop stank too, you know? Because what I saw from our team early in the year in the season is we used a lot the games that we felt were comfortable with, that we could handle easily. I saw them use those games as pseudo preseason games, if you will, to tweak things.
Yeah.
These next 3 weeks, you have the opportunity to do that because, well, not next 3 weeks, but the next 2 and then last week. You have the opportunity to see how your team fares against a weakness. Because run defense is our defense's weakness. So, and you're having to do it. It's been bumped up exponentially with the loss of Hankins. And that's another point that I want to bring up. You know, I did see a lot of people saying, man, you know, we really needed Hankins. And that is true. I appreciate the work that he has done, what he brings to the defensive line, you know, demanding double team, you know, clogging up the middle. But you can't tell me that one man made that much of an impact.
No. Especially, let me just add to that, and I'll shoot it right back to you. Especially from the inside. Because they were running outside a whole lot. They weren't just plugging it up the middle. They was running a whole bunch of stretch. A lot of stuff was outside. And Hankins is strong, but he ain't that fast now. But he gets on that stretch play. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, and to your point, you know, talking about lineup and personnel, I want to see more Chauncey.
He would have done better than Gallimore.
Yeah. I want to see a little bit more Carl, see what he's got to offer, you know.
Based off last week, let's throw this in. And I guess we'll get to what everybody talking about in a minute, but we needed a bunch of guys. We need a few guys that can set the edge last week. So, you know, I know everybody know where we're going with that in a little bit, but so I'm gonna add to what I want to see to what you just said. I want to see Williams in the game. Slam Williams.
Yeah.
I want to see him get in. I want to see Fowler get in.
Absolutely.
D-Law is D-Law, but I need to see that, and just those two by themselves will give the opening for what everybody been talking about with Parsons.
Yep.
If you put that in the game. But I got another whole perspective on that as well. But what you think about really the whole D-line wasn't good at all. I think D-Law is going to do a whole lot better this week. And I really believe Parsons is ticked off as well.
Yeah.
Even if he is on the line, I believe he's going to play a whole lot better.
Absolutely. Because, you know, one thing I will say about our team, first off, it's been 2021 since we lost back-to-back games. But by doing what you just said, it does free up Micah.
Yeah.
You know, and from what I've seen from those individuals, I trust them enough to put them in those positions because, truth be told, it can't get no worse than what it was last week.
No.
You can't tell me that you give up 300 or 350 on the ground by putting them there. No, you don't. No, you don't. And that allows, I'm not saying, necessarily put Micah at Mike. I'm thinking more weak side to where, he can kind of just flow, read and react. Sometimes you can put him in the middle, because we've seen in some instances this year, this season, they put him in essence at nose and allowed him to rush passing through the center. And he does a masterful job when he's there. But how much more effective could he be if he's doing that, but he's doing that behind Chauncey or behind Osa?
Yeah.
So now you're making this offensive center or guard have to make a decision, have to make a choice.
Yeah.
It just, I said something last night as far as just putting Mike in one spot, because there are a lot of people who seem to think that, we don't need to touch him or mess with him. But to those individuals, I say this. If teams are able to lock him in, they'll also be able to lock him out.
Easily. Just by recognition.
By recognition.
Yeah.
The same way a quarterback says, hey, 52 is the mic. Check 11.
Yeah.
And you slide your protection, or if the play was going that way, you flip it and send it to the other side, like Josh Allen did in a couple instances during the game. He flipped the play, you send it away from him. You're not even a factor.
Yeah.
So the ugly part about this is you have a generational talent in number 11.
Hall of Famer, no doubt. On the verge of it.
The worst thing that you could do to him is not have him involved in the defense.
Yeah.
And by locking him in that position, guess what? That's what you're doing.
He's too good of a player that when you look at
just athlete.
Well, I'm just saying, when you look at the end of the game stats, and a player of his caliber only has one tackle, one or two pressures. I ain't really worried about the sacks. They'll come if he's there. But, a player of his caliber shouldn't have goose eggs on his stats.
No.
I mean, that's what would look like it was almost last week. He's too good of a player. And some of this is scheme. And just to add on to what you were saying, it's difficult to really, you're going to spend a little bit more time in pre-snap if you're moving them around like a chess piece.
Yep.
Because even if you call the play, you still don't know where he's lining up when the play starts, which is going to cause your line to make some more adjustments. Your quarterback got to make the proper recognition, and then he can move still.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? He still can move.
In and out. I would do that. I wouldn't get set until I was almost certain that they were getting ready to call a play.
Exactly.
You got time to do it. You could be lined up behind your defensive end, and then if they approach the line, you could shuffle and shift and slide over. And stem back and forth to where they can't. You don't know where it's coming from.
You know where it's coming from. Once they find the matchup on that line, like they have, that's where your superpower is, because you know what you could do at the particular time to get those guys in trouble. I remember last year, man. I remember saying Quinn set Parsons and D-Law on the line and make that offensive tackle make a choice. Where's that been at all year? Instead of just having them line up in the spot there, and now they can send 2-3 guys at them. And of course, they're going to swallow them out to play. This dude, man, I think Coach Marv said it best. This guy could win Defensive Player of the Year with stats that ain't never been seen before.
Absolutely.
I think Coach Marv said something like 125 tackles and, double-digit sacks and probably 1 or 2 or 3 interceptions out of that.
And a couple.
This dude, yeah. He can do it all, but if you line him up in one spot, you ain't going to get it done, which leads to this, Amp.
Okay.
This ain't got nothing with football.
Okay.
I've just followed you in this last year and all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing this for about 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
This is what I've always said about the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to always find a way to put politics in the game. And this is the perfect example. Because it's obvious to me, Sam Williams is a problem. Fowler is a problem.
Yep.
There are times when Dorrance Armstrong is a problem.
Yep.
All right. If you want to move the stuff around, put the right players on the field, despite what others' contracts are.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dallas Cowboys front office have always said, whoever follow the money, who's ever getting paid, that's who's playing. Yep. That's the way at least that's the way that it seems. And in the process, you give up a chance to even get better by putting somebody else on the field to make your superstar better. Move him around by putting look, Sam Williams, Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence on the field at the same time. It's not a liability.
It's not.
It is a plus.
Guess what? I even posed this a couple of weeks ago during the watch party. After seeing how fast Sam Williams got down the field as a gunner in a punt situation.
Come on, man.
I said, hell. Maybe put him at linebacker. I don't know. It's a weak room. It's worth a shot. You see what I'm saying?
Like, body.
Because he's got the body.
He's got the body, and he definitely got the speed.
He's got the speed.
He probably can run sideline to sideline. And if I'm not mistaken now, I may be wrong, but I think I'm not. At Ole Miss, they ran a 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
Which means he was listed as, in the 3-4, as a outside linebacker.
And I think the same goes for Fowler, if I'm not mistaken, when I was talking to Coach.
Come on, dog.
He was saying that, if I'm not mistaken, in high school, Fowler played linebacker. So it's already in him.
It's in that. Well, look, your answers are already in the house.
You know what? So guess what?
Hold on, man. Hold on, man. I'm sorry, but I had your answers are already in the house. they already there. And in reality, this defense, is really common sense. This defense, I ain't saying he's supposed to play Sam's supposed to play every down on the defensive line. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this defense actually gets faster when you put this dude in the game or Fowler. They even get faster. They already lightning fast right now, but good God. Can you imagine if you do this? It just don't make any sense. It don't make any sense to me.
No, because the talent-wise is there. And that's the reason in some instances I get so as much as I appreciate what he's done for the team, I get frustrated with Dan Quinn because how the saying goes, too much has been given, much is expected. And if you look at these last couple of drafts, we've been sitting there like, boy, Dan Quinn sure getting whatever it is that he want, Yeah. And it was looking like in most instances, he was getting more than Mike.
Yeah.
So I'm looking like, dude, Bill Parcells would have killed for these groceries. He'd have killed for him. And you got him. He's got more than Rod Marinelli ever had. So if this is what you got, this is what you've been given, bro. Look here.
Work it.
Work it. I don't want no oodles and noodles, dog.
Work it.
I need linguine, bro.
Yeah.
Linguine and ramen is not the same, dog.
Yeah.
It's similar. But the price tag, if you look at the menu, they're significantly different, especially once you start adding the proteins in.
Yeah.
Something else I want to talk about too is still on this defense thing, still talking about Micah. And Coach and I had an awesome conversation 2 days ago. I love and appreciate what Micah does, what he brings to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the athlete that he is.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate how he is taking on a leadership role, but I just need him to embrace not only that role, but the moment even more. Because he said himself that he wants to be not just a great pass rusher, he wants to be known as one of the great defenders, period.
Man, why are you gonna make me do this?
Uh-oh. Now I understand.
Why
and I'm not gonna get in between a man and his money. It's not my place. I know defensive end plays more. I know you were drafted as a linebacker, and then Tank went out and you slid into that role, and now you're trying to hold on to that. But Coach and I came to this conclusion, and it reminds me of my daughter. You can't just eat the meat and potatoes, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You got to eat the vegetables too.
Yes, sir.
And if you take on this challenge for being a part-time off-the-ball linebacker and you're good at it, now, sir, that gives you all the leverage when you get ready to go to the bargaining table and you're talking about trying to get a contract that is going to create generational wealth for you and your family.
Let me agree with you and slightly push back at you.
Okay.
And this really ain't debate. It's two things can be right at the same time.
Absolutely.
He has so much talent, that his talent is going to always show up because he's just been tremendously gifted. It ain't God spend a little bit more time on him in football. Not too many people can do what he's capable of doing. We haven't even scratched the surface of what he really can do yet. That's the scary part. But let me say this, and this is the part, and you came from a perspective of the contract. I thought you were going another way. So when you say that he said, and we all heard him say, he wants to be the greatest of all time and all that kind of stuff. Well, his talent is so great and it's going to outshine, everything in the first place, that it also overshadows the lack of dog that's there. Now, right there, a lot of people going to say, wait a minute, he is a dog. His talent level is so great that he's a dog. But when you start talking about the greatest defensive players of all time, everybody had a mean streak in them.
Yeah.
I don't care who name you call out. Check the dog in them when it comes to mean streak.
That's it.
Ray Lewis, dog, bite, any pass rusher you got. I'm not saying Derek Thomas. Everybody talking about LT. Derek Thomas is closer to me to Parsons than Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor was just a destructive, full dog, teeth slob coming out his mouth, crazy, couldn't be stopped type of dude. Derek Thomas couldn't be stopped. Derek Thomas couldn't be stopped. He reminded me of him coming off more than that. But Derek Thomas had dog, real dog. Parsons still helping people off the ground. I ain't got. He gonna be the highest paid. I'm giving him that. To go to this level that he wants to be at, and to be a MVP. Because remember, at the beginning of the year, they was not only saying defensive player of the year for him.
They were talking MVP.
They were talking MVP of the whole league.
Yep.
To do that, you got to have a total different mentality, a different type of dog in you to make. See, he made plays. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got plenty of sacks, you know, double-digit sacks. But the difference between him, Lawrence Taylor, your Derek Thomases, your Bruce Smiths, your Reggie Whites, is that their plays were game-changing plays.
Agreed.
Parsons is not empty calorie stats by no means.
No.
But to get him the way he need to be, it's kind of like his teammate Bland. Bland's picks were game-changing plays.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Parsons have made about 1 or 2 of those this year.
Yeah.
And you can't have goose eggs, man. Because Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Derek Thomas, all those guys got double to triple too.
He shows a little. He shows. I will say this at times, and like you said, his talent definitely dog, but just demeanor stuff. When you talk about on the field, and he shows a little diva to me at sometimes. I even saw. I was reading an article this week, and it kind of put me in that same mindset that you were just speaking on. He was talking about guarding Tyreek Hill. And he was like, just talking about, the type of talent that individual has. And he was like, yeah, he's cool and all and everything to watch. But when you got to play him, it's a witch with a capital B, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so, but he was like, and then he was, in addition to that, he was like, but, shout out to Tyreek, though, he helped me, he got me some tickets for my family to come down to watch the game.
Man, that wasn't gonna stop that, dog. You could have got tickets either way it go. Stop it. Stop it. Stop that. You see what I'm saying?
I heard that and I was like, that's not the mentality.
It's not the mindset
man. I want to hear this week, bro. You
playing
kissy face with the enemy, man.
Come on, dog. You gonna sit around here waiting to swap jerseys and all that kind of stuff. Ray Lewis ain't swapping no jersey.
It's gonna be sitting right there like that prime time next week on the edge.
Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? Stop it. I need him to go to the Pro Bowl and shake hands.
Yeah.
Because, really, we don't want him to be in the Pro Bowl.
Right.
We want to make the Super Bowl. Call him. You got all these numbers. Call him after it's over with. But for right now, the dogs, man, they don't do this stuff. But his talent is so great that it's gonna overshadow what I'm saying, because he gonna get his numbers because he that great. I give him that.
Mike Tyson used to get a bad rap because of a lot of the things that he said, and look, when it came to a match, no topic was ever off limits for Mike. Mike said, I want to eat your kids, man. You looking at him like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Because he was trying to get here.
Yeah.
You can do this all day long.
Yeah.
But if this don't match it,
you ain't talking about nothing.
You're not seeing the maximum out of this.
Exactly. See? This is what because it sets a tone also, Amp. Yes. It sets a tone for everybody. And I'm not saying he don't do that because we don't have a microphone in the huddle. We don't, you can see his face sometimes. It looked like he ticked off. Right. It looked like he I'm not saying he ain't productive by no means. No. It's just that during this particular time, you go up another level in intensity. Mm-hmm. And you can't be calling everybody, taking up for everybody on your podcast and all that. Yeah, man, forget these folks. Go hit somebody. It's just
I catch y'all in the off season.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. If we want to work out together, that's fine in the summertime.
That's I don't know. That look,
you can't teach that. They got to come. You got to have
it got
that.
to be like Gatorade.
Already
Is it in you?
Yeah. And sometime I wonder. That's all I'm saying. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about, I'm having fun tonight. Listen, everybody right now, need everybody, whether you're on YouTube or on AMP's channels or on my channels, listen, everybody now, go hit that like button. Hit it about 12 times.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. If you're on YouTube, hit that heart button. If you're on Facebook, hit that like button. Everybody do that now. Come on, help your boys out here. If you're enjoying the show right now, go ahead and hit that like button for myself and my guest Amp here, who graced us with his presence on tonight. So I'm excited about that. Last thing, Amp, and I need y'all in the chat group. I need y'all that's all here in the chat group. And if you're watching and hadn't clicked in, go ahead and click in. Or if you're watching this replay on Amp's channel or mine, this is what I want y'all. Let's have a little small discussion here. Amp, since you here, obviously we'll start with you. They run the ball well. And this ties back to Quinn. This ties back to Quinn. The one thing I don't like about Quinn, even though he's been more successful than he has been unsuccessful, obviously, is that when we start getting our brains kicked in on defense, what happens or why, in your opinion, does he not make the adjustments immediately? Show you the prime example. He made the adjustment, but it didn't have to go that long. Seattle game. Bland, love him to death, but he got ate alive by DK.
Sure did. Took him a whole half to figure it out.
Why did you let it keep going when you see how it's going? Then your pride say, okay, well, he can't do this. Let me put Gilmore on DK. It took that long, which leads to last week. Why did you let us go 266 yards rushing on us? Why didn't you send? Look, it's obvious what they're doing. Allen only threw the ball 15 times.
15 times.
Where in the world was the run blitzes? Where were the adjustments, in-game adjustments? But you didn't change anything. Were you that scared of Diggs? Were you that scared of Davis? Were you scared of Jane Cook coming out?
They would have had to beat me that way.
You got to pick your poison.
Yep.
If Diggs get hot, so be it. But I'm saying, like, you just can't let a team just run 266 yards. No. And then with the Seattle game, Amp, why didn't you give Bland some help if you're gonna let him keep going one-on-one? Why didn't you put the safety over the top? This pride will get us killed. And I'm saying that, Amp, because Miami is the type of team offensively that you have to pick your poison. You're not going to be able to guard all this. No. So my question is, in the case, we already talked about the running game. In the case of the passing game, how are we playing Tyreek Hill? Are we going to be so prideful that we going to go man to man? Because that's all Quinn really run.
Yeah.
And
when we do run a zone, it's a weak zone. Because we don't communicate well enough. Guys don't necessarily pass off defenders that are crossing over into another zone particularly well. It may look ugly Sunday. But you said the right word. It's pride. It's pride.
Yeah, and that's gonna kill us.
Because he has, to me, and I said this last night, he has a good fastball. He has a good curveball. He don't have a changeup. He don't have a changeup because and you know what's crazy, and I wish I had it. It's on my other phone, but I was looking for some content in there from my grandfather, some videos and pictures, and I stumbled upon this video that went back to 2021. It was in November. I forgot what game this was after, but Dan Quinn himself, when I find it, I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to send it to you. Y'all going to see it on Twitter, X. You're going to see it sometime either late tonight or early tomorrow. But Dan Quinn himself says, when you're getting beat out of you, you have to be able to make changes and make adjustments. He said that himself. So he knows. So the fact that you have knowledge of it and you aren't doing it, it screams to me pride.
It's pride, Doc. It's pride.
Because you don't, because you, to me, it's almost you think you starting to believe the hype and you thinking
that your
defense is better than what it is.
Yeah, and it feel like
you getting the blood and the snot beat out of you, you have to be able to make that adjustment. Because you know what it smells like? What it really smells like, to me, is stubborn Kellen.
Yeah, Kellen Moore, yeah, exactly.
Teams that you running these option routes and these comebacks and they sitting on the routes and jumping the routes and you don't want to change your concepts or your scheme and they dialed in and your offense is not efficiently able to move the ball downfield and you don't change a thing. That's stubbornness.
Yeah.
The one thing I will give Mike credit for, Big Mike, is if it ain't working, he gonna fix it or he gonna try and fix it.
Yeah.
So I digress, but if you tell me that this team is not gonna make it to where we think they should go this year because of pride,
that's horrible.
That's inexcusable.
Yeah,
because like you said, the talent is there. And I, talking to Coach, we were on the show last week. We got into a heated discussion. Just posing different ideas about bringing on Ndamukong Suh, right?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, why not? I know he's been, an issue at times, he's been deemed in some instances a nasty player, but guess what? I take a little nasty right now.
I swear.
I'll take it. If whatever kind of plan I got to put him on, whatever kind of team building activities I need to do to keep him at bay and just be a good player, I'll do it because you see what he brings to the table. Now, Coach at the time, Coach Marv's stance on it was, he didn't believe that we needed to get Suh. My thing was, why not? The more the merrier, right? It can only help. I don't believe it'll hurt.
No.
But Coach's point was, he said, man, we got the dudes in the building. And at the time, I didn't really think so. But after talking about what we talked about earlier, just depending on how you put them together and what look you put them in, because that dictates a lot too.
Well, the first thing is you got to put them on the field, man. You first got to put them on the field to see if it worked. We haven't put, did Armstrong play in the game? Did Golston play? I'm serious. Williams didn't get on the field.
And I don't know what he did, but I ain't even seen Israel like that this year.
Israel ain't been on the field in a while. We done turned Donovan Wilson. Listen to this. We done turned Donovan Wilson to think he almost like he playing free safety. Donovan Wilson got paid because of his physicality
in the box
and his way he would draw turnovers from knocking the snot out of people.
Yep.
That's what he would do. Or if you come across the middle, he was the one that was going to make you pay the price. It's kind of like that slant play that Miami played with Tyreek Hill all the time. Let me tell you something. If Donovan Wilson is there, he is going to introduce himself to either one of Waddle or Tyreek. It makes no difference. You got to make these guys pay. And that's what he did. Now we done turn him to something completely different. I don't get it. I don't get it.
We got to get back to the basics, man. And to me, that's on both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
I need Mike to get back to what was working for him with motion and everything and keeping it fluid and flowing and fresh.
Yeah.
And I need Dan I need him to get back to the basics.
Yeah.
I need that smothering type defense that just says, hey, not
Swarming.
today. Swarm to the ball.
Yeah.
Because you did see a lot of this guys standing around looking at dudes make the tackle.
Yeah.
And especially on that play, we done seen it 1,000 times now, to where it seemed like progress has stopped. And then it was like something clicked simultaneously. The entire Bills offensive line huddled around the running back and pushed him almost another 8 yards.
Ain't it 10 yards, man? It's pride, man.
I said, God,
you got to be kidding me. For real.
You just got to want it.
Let me ask you this, and I promise you. Let me ask you this one. How are you playing Tyreek? Are you putting a safety over the top? Are you committing 2 people to him every trip? Are you letting, if it's Gilmore, we rarely see Gilmore press. Gilmore will he's the most physical, if you ask me, out of what we have. But out of respect for Hill, we're not pressing him. I mean, so how far are we lining off of him?
I think you need to. And the reason why I say
we need to press him.
I think we need to, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay. Is this the same thing for Waddle as well?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Tyreek Hill, they don't call him the cheetah for nothing.
Yeah.
My thing is, if you can slow him down a hair,
take the time to
disrupt him, the time to maybe allow your pass rush to be able to get to Tua. Because one thing about Tua is if you can kind of get him off his pedestal, your chances of having a negative play increase.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the press him to necessarily get lost in the sauce, because it can happen.
Oh, yeah.
And it can happen quick.
Very quickly.
But it's so many subtleties, and Boss has talked about it before, and nuances that you can do to guys like that. You know, little elbow here, hands, hit the hips, just to make him a little uncomfortable, to slow him down a smidge, because you ain't going to stop him outright.
No.
But if you can slow him down with assistance over the top, you have a good chance. And I just want us to try to attempt to basically what a lot of teams who have had success against our offense has done. I know he typically doesn't do it, but I would be open to a too high look this week and keep everything in front of you.
Yes. So are you putting Gilmore on Hill?
Honestly, I ain't putting Gilmore on Hill. You know why?
I agree 1,000%. I'm glad somebody see it. I don't know why I like
you know why? Because a lot of what Hill does, a lot of his success comes in crossing routes.
Exactly.
And we have seen at times that crossing routes can pose to be a challenge for respectably old man Gilmore.
Yes,
you know? I'm thinking
slant route as well.
I'm thinking if you're gonna put somebody on him, you put somebody on him with some speed. I might not even put Bland on him.
Okay. You ain't got
this might be a game where, and I don't think it's necessarily a person. I think this is more of a community effort. I wouldn't mind throwing a little Israel at him at times.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind throwing a little Marquise at him at times.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind throwing a little J. Lou at him at times.
Okay.
To give an inconsistent look.
Are you shading him at all with the linebacker as well?
Yep.
Just to give him a different look. I know you might have to safety over the top, but sometimes you may just have to go underneath because they do a whole bunch of them little quick slants.
And that's where you would see Bell.
Yeah.
That's where you would see Bell shading him a whole lot more.
See, I thought you were gonna say this, Am. I thought you were gonna say, because this is what I've been thinking, because it's a dilemma. See, people been trying to figure out Hill for years. They still ain't figured out, so there ain't really no answer, to be honest with you.
No.
But you got to try to slow him down, as you said. I thought that you would try to put Gilmore on Waddle, even though it's the same speed, and you would put Bland on him, on Hill, but you would do what you just said, the safety over the top. That's what, and I know that, of course,
I just need Bland to be a little bit more disciplined. That's it.
Yeah,
if he was cleaner and more disciplined, I'd say, yeah, have at it. But he's shown, like Diggs, even in some instances,
yeah,
they're gonna bite on that move, you know.
Yeah.
And with him,
yeah,
you bite wrong,
he gonna hit his head on the goal post. It just ain't no doubt.
But
that's why I want the safety over the top. If he would beat both of us, then ain't no we could do.
But our safeties have to be alert this game, because over the last 2 years, there have been some instances where you see a guy make a long catch or whatever, long play downfield, and on several occasions, I know you said it, where was the safety?
Yeah. Especially with all these pre-snap that they do, for real. I think the motion,
they'll make you dizzy, man.
The motions is crazy. And
when I watched the tape, I had to watch each play like 3 or 4 times.
Like, how you keep up with this? Like, you talking about eye discipline. Your eye discipline got to be right. The only thing I was
cross-eyed.
Yeah, for real. The only thing that I would say this, though, to me, Amp, they are a finesse pinball machine type offense.
Mm-hmm.
What I've seen in their losses, though, is that the team that gets physical with them, they win.
And teams that have the 4 losses they got this year are against what I call real quarterbacks.
Bingo.
He lost to Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Lost to Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did they lose to? There's 2 others, and then I know Tennessee, Will Levis. They just were super physical with them.
Yeah, they just brutal with them. They bullied them. They bullied.
They did.
That's it. One because they were talented, over talented, because it wasn't even close.
No.
They ran the ball.
Yep.
And they slowed the game down, and then they beat them up.
Magical number. I want y'all to remember this. I'm a Laker and a Kobe Bryant fan.
Come on,
so I
knew that's why I like you. Go ahead. Go ahead, boy.
My first sports poster ever was Showtime.
Lord have mercy.
So I want y'all to remember this number. I want you to remember 24. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if you can remember Kobe, you can remember 24. 24 is the magic number.
Look at that.
If we rush the ball over 24 times.
Just that quick. I got a world-class podcast. So I go lay the cow. Watch it out. There you go. I can go leg it real quick on you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I love it. You know, if we can rush the ball, if we rush the ball over 24 times, we win the game.
Yeah. Because if you run at least 24 times, you know you got some success.
Mm-hmm.
You know you got some success.
Mm-hmm.
And it also shows commitment to run the ball.
Even if you ain't gashing them.
No, you just
stay committed, consistent. Stay the course.
Yeah, we need time of possession against this team.
Mm-hmm.
We want to limit them as less possessions as they can. And I think that's where we got. That's how Tennessee beat them up so bad.
You said it. You said you've heard it all week. It's going to be a track meet. Look, prior to this past week, after the 10-point performance, we did have the highest point scored in the league. Guess who took over the number 1 spot?
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
They're first in points. They're first in yards. They're first in passing yards. They're 4th in rushing yards.
This offense is incredible.
12th in time of possession.
Yeah, pick your poison. You got to take one thing out and then take your chances. So as crazy as this may sound, you're going, pick, if it was me, I'm not letting their receivers beat us.
No.
I'm not saying I'm giving up the run, but I'm concentrating on the run. Now I understand play action pass is gonna be there at points in time. But if you run that too high safety look like you said, just doesn't get behind you, man.
Yep.
Keep it kind of like the way Buffalo played us last week.
Exactly like
same
that.
way Frisco played us.
Exactly.
Everything underneath and dared you to run the ball. They were saying is our front four defensively will beat your offensive line.
I like
that's what that's if I was coordinating. That's
make
what I
them earn it. Nickel
make them
all the way down the field.
I don't want you with no 4-5 play drive.
No,
I want you to have a 10+ play drive. If you score a touchdown, good for you.
Yeah,
but sooner or later, Tua is gonna give you a chance,
right,
to take the ball away. He will do that, even though he is accurate. He's playing at a very high level, but his history shows that when he has to hold on the ball, he get a little dancing feet in the pocket. He will throw the ball at you. So
yep,
I want them to earn the drive. 100%. So be it. Well, Al, brother, unless you got something else, I done had fun tonight. I'm sorry,
I enjoyed it, man.
I'm not trying to Amp done work, time him to go ahead and hang out and all that kind of stuff. And I'm old, so I got to get to bed.
Man, no, look, this is right here. This is my club. This right here is my club.
This is therapy.
That's it. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so we'll do this. As far as me, when you coming on next?
The
watch party.
Old cell phone plans, man. Free nights and weekends. That's it.
Y'all turn on y'all notifications for Amp. I'll probably be on. I might come back on tomorrow. At some
I'm
point.
thinking about tomorrow.
All right,
thinking about it. Just depend on what we do with family,
Yeah. If definitely, I will be with you guys at halftime of the game, and then I'll do the post game show immediately following the game. So y'all look for me on Sunday for sure. This won't be the last time unless Amp say I'm too boring. This one,
I loved it.
This won't be the last time that you guys see Amp on the show. Just good to hang with the brothers that we all knew. We all watch each other, whether we communicate with each other or not. I'm the extended family of Boss Cowboy. I'm one of the Avengers too. Amp is one. All of us, Landlord and Henny, we all part of the same family. It's time for all of us to come together. These guys here, man, you throw in Landlord and Henny, and of course West Coast.
Absolutely.
You throw in, of course, Law, Big Game James, Coach Marv is in the family as well.
Absolutely.
When you throw in, and if you all want to throw in, a lot of the things, y'all, that you're hearing from the superstars and some of the things that you're hearing from the coaches, a lot of that stuff, y'all, has come from these mouths that, it came from these mouths first. And then you start hearing it from the big boys. Because what they'll let you know is, now they ain't gonna never say it. They may have a different name that's under there. They may never comment. But here's the thing. They're watching.
Yep.
And most of all, they're listening. Here's what we need to understand. In the great words of Boss Cowboy, your voice does matter.
It does.
So all this stuff that y'all saying in the chat line, all the stuff you say on Amp Show, all the stuff that y'all say on the watch party with Amp and Coach Marv and Boss, all the things that you tune in, all these different shows that you have, somebody is watching. And so therefore, since they're watching, we're going to keep saying what we got to say. We don't work for the Cowboys. Cowboys don't send us no money. We work ourselves. We say what need to be said, and let the chips fall where they may.
That's it.
That's what, and it has worked. This so far this year. Not saying they do what we say, but they're listening without question. So again, I appreciate AMP for us writing another chapter to the book of this season for coming in, man. And listen, again, y'all already know me because y'all already are on my channels as it is. But for those, again, that have not followed AMP at all, there it is. Follow him on Twitter at AmpDSports1. And then on YouTube, it's simple, Amped Sports. Go and subscribe to him both on Twitter and YouTube and support him as well when he comes on. As you can hear, very knowledgeable, the guy, know what he's talking about. Just a privilege just to have him on the show tonight. Far as me goes, y'all know where I am by now. So I don't have to say all that. I'm just glad to get my brother in. And if we can help grow his channel, I'll be glad that we can do it, man. I appreciate it. You got the final word, Amp.
First and foremost, again, I appreciate the opportunity. Do not take it for granted. You reached out. I was like, hey, let's go to work. Let's make it happen. One thing I do appreciate about the community is, ain't nobody faking the phone.
No,
you're talking about guys that put in some serious work. And part of the reason why I haven't even made it full time yet is just based off of the sheer commitment that it takes and the work that it does indeed take. I mean, you're talking about looking at film, thinking of ideas for shows,
out of reading,
doing artwork, reading articles. It's so much to it. And I got a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
And I'm a husband.
Yeah.
And I'm a father. I got 2 kids under the age of 3. Y'all pray for me.
Yes, sir.
So I actually wanted to even get in backstage a little earlier than what I did. But guess what?
Kids.
Daughter wasn't to bed yet. So hey, daddy duty calls. But
that's right.
Y'all continue again to support big time, support the rest of the content creators. And again, I appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate you for the opportunity. It's Mr. Always Making Plays. Y'all stay tuned and be blessed.
Man, I appreciate that. And let's continue to pray for Amp and his family. I don't know if I'm at liberty to share this, but he just lost his grandfather just a couple of days ago. So this, as he said to me earlier, is kind of like therapy for him.
Absolutely.
So whenever we can provide some type of outlet or something to take his mind off things for a minute, that's all, in fun and all that. So hey, for those that are believers, and I hope you don't mind to be the preacher. It's just the preacher in me. If you believe in Christ or you believe in the power of prayer, I just want to pray for Amp right now. If you don't mind, not long. We ain't gonna preach a sermon or anything else, but I'd be wrong if I didn't take this opportunity to do it. If y'all don't mind, let's pray for him. Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for Amp, and we thank you for his family. We thank you for the life that lived and his grandfather. We thank you for all the lessons that I'm quite sure he left behind. And oh God, now we already know that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. So we know where he is. We know he's in your bosom. We know that everything is all right. We know his body is fully healed now. We know he has joy now in your presence. We thank you for that. But God, we're here grieving. We're here in pain. We're here with our hearts are broken. We're here crying. We're here having, sleepless, losing a little sleep at night. Oh God, be the strength for us as you have been for so many others during this process. We know you can do it. There's too much evidence that says that you're able to give us peace even in these trying times, even when these things are fresh. Oh, God, let him be surrounded by his family. Let him be surrounded by his friends. Oh, God, we thank you for this group that are here tonight that I'm quite sure that are encouraging him. Let him feel the strength. Let him feel the power of prayer. Let him feel your presence even in this. Show him who you are even in this time, God. He's heard about you all his life. He's been here before with other family members, I'm quite sure. Give him the peace that he needs now. And we thank you in advance, even for the moments of peace. We thank you, God, for even just a couple minutes that he may have of peace. If these shows, if these things that he does to give his mind away from him, God, let him smile even in the midst of this. Let him have a good laugh in this. And God, we know that you're able to do it. Oh God, we extend all of our hands to him now. And we say, God, to give him the peace and strength for he and his family. And we know you're going to do it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Hey, I love you.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you, man. We're going to do it again. I got you.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Sooner than later.
I hear you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Big Time Show once again. I had my brother with me tonight. I had my guy with me. And it's just a privilege to have a guy like him to raise our presence tonight. So we'll see you again. I'll see you on Sunday, probably the halftime, and then, of course, the post-game show. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, signing off for Amp and myself one more time. This has been the Big Time Show.